I will tell you this. Here's some good news for everyone listening. Trauma. Trauma is something that to a lot of people, when you hear the word, it feels like a monster. It sounds like everything horrible. The moment that trauma comes into your space and touches you, that is the very moment that the universe, whatever you believe, Allah, God, universe, whatever you believe in, that is the very moment that you have been marked for greatness. Well, have you ever heard the term growing pains? Growing pains. When something hurts, it's because you're growing. That's why it's not called growing tickles. It's called growing pains. So when something shows up, it's because even when trauma, that includes trauma, when something shows up that you didn't expect, it's because it's time to know. You need to know about this thing. Why? Because when it's time to know, it's also time to grow.
You're listening to the Future Jobs Podcast, the show that explores the skills, careers, and technology shaping tomorrow's world of work. Hosted by Fahad Jobswala.
Dr. Loren Michaels Harris, international motivational speaker, recording artist, and the host of the popular digital talk show. Having overcome a difficult childhood, including living in 22 different foster homes, and personal empowerment. As the president of Trajectory TV Network, he continues to inspire millions, showing that adversity can be the driving force behind success. So I'm very excited to host you, Dr. Loren Harris, and it's my pleasure to be here. And it's my pleasure to host you. So, how's your day going? How are you?
Awesome. Better now. I'm excited to be here. I'm honored to be interviewed by the world's next big thing, because I know you're headed into big places. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Man, where'd you find all that information? I was like, how does he know so much about me? But thank you for that. I'm excited to be here. Let's go.
Thank you so much. I didn't get so much. You have lots of things more hidden in your, amazing life. So first of all, as I mentioned, Dr. Harris, you grown up with 22 different foster mothers. Must have been incredibly challenging. So how did those early experiences shape your misunderstanding of adversity and resilience?
Great question. You're a natural, I can tell. Um, well, because first of all, when you're in it, you can't do anything about it. Um, what I mean by that, you can't change what is real. You can only change with it. You can only change through it. So I learned quickly that there were things in life. I was just a kid when this started for me. My birth mother and my adopted mother um, suddenly died. And I found myself with a different name. I thought I was Larry Dixon, but I was not. That was a false name. It was not real. I was not adopted. I was just kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, I was kind of like stolen, from my birth mother. But it doesn't mean I didn't love the woman who took me. She was all I knew. And so suddenly I went from a wonderful, wonderful life. No, not a thing to worry about. I went to private school. I had lived in a nice house, and I had great friends, and I had a cool bike, you know. Um, and then everything changed. You're not Larry. Your name is Loren. You're not a part of this family. You're coming with us. And I'm looking like, what? Right? And it was hard. I'm going to be honest with you. At the time, it was horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But then today, when I look over there and I see all the way down that road to the moment that stuff started when I was a kid, and then I look at where I'm at right now, here with you, I have to go, well, how bad could it have really been? Because it's responsible for this awesome moment that you and I are sharing right now. We're here because all that had to happen. So, what I tell people about that is when you're going through something in your life and it doesn't feel good and it hurts and you cry and why me? What did I do to deserve this? Is what I used to say until I was 50 years old. I'm 62. So 12 years ago, I see up until 12 years ago, I was like, oh, poor me, pitiful me. I'm so ashamed. Oh, I'm horrible. I had 22 mothers. Nothing good is ever going to happen to me. I did that until I was 50 years old. And then all of a sudden, I decided I wanted better. I wanted to not make it about me anymore. I wanted to see and understand why I had to live the life I had lived up to that point. And all of a sudden, it went from what did I do to deserve this? And it turned into I love my life. What must I do to preserve this? How do I keep this? And that's when it started dawning on me. Find out ways to hold on to the dreams, how to make it exciting so that I can give it to other people. And that changed everything, Fahad. It really did. So I will tell you this. Here's some good news for everyone listening. Trauma. Trauma is something that to a lot of people, when you hear the word, it feels like a monster. It sounds like everything horrible. But I want you to know something. This applies to every single person. I know this to be true, especially children. The moment that trauma comes into your space and touches you, that is the very moment that the universe, whatever you believe, Allah, God, universe, whatever you believe in, that is the very moment that you have been marked for greatness. When trauma enters your life, you have just been chosen to be a legend in this world. It's true. And you go, what? Me? You know, when that happened to me as a kid, it looked like the worst thing in the world. But look what it has done. You see, it's not how you start a race. It's not even about how you run it. It's about how you finish the race. See? And so I'm very excited to be able to share these truths with people just like you every single day. I can't think of a better way to live for me. I hope that answers your question.
It was really amazing answer, Lauren. And guys, what did I tell you? His life is filled up with these amazing, experiences and such challenges that could, that could make our life and that could help us in something. So yes, I'm also very excited to, to explore more about you, to explore more about your life journeys. And the thing you just told just right now about the trauma, that when trauma touches someone, the person goes like very shocked and just goes very emotional and very bad. That why me? But actually the trauma which comes in that person's life, the trauma is something that could change his life. That
Yes.
will be the that will be the something which will be the resource to get his better life.
Yes. Leading you to bigger and greater things. Because now
Exactly.
instantly you have something that you're an authority on because it didn't kill you. It grew you. You know, have you ever heard the term growing pains? Growing pains. When
uh,
something hurts, it's because you're growing. That's why it's not called growing tickles. It's called growing pains. So when something shows up, it's because even when trauma, that includes trauma, when something shows up that you didn't expect, it's because it's time to know. You need to know about this thing. Why? Because when it's time to know, it's also time to grow. So when something comes into your life and wakes you up, hey, you can do better. You can be stronger. You can be bolder. Now you know, because it's time to grow. And that's the good news. Nothing is ever about just one thing. So when something comes in and it feels really crappy, it feels like, oh, well, okay, that's one thing. But what else can you do? I love to look at situations, Fahad. I like to look at what some people call problems. I call them situations. But when they show up, let's say this is one, right? When it shows up, I just go, why are you here? Leave me alone. Get out of here. You're horrible. No. I say, hmm, what lesson are you here to show me? What gift is inside here somewhere? I may not see it, but I got to get in there and dig for it. I have to believe that this is bringing me something I need. And I'm not going to stop until I find it. And when you do, this never comes again. It leaves because it has done its job. It has brought you your lesson, which is also, if you do something with your lesson, it becomes a blessing. But when you have blessings, and there's a book called The Alchemist. You ever heard of that book, Fahad? The Alchemist. The line I love the most in that book is one that says, when you ignore your blessings, they become your curse. If you ignore your blessings, they become a curse. So the minute something shows up in my life today, it only took me 50 years. I'm 62 now. So for 12 years, I've done this. Why are you here? What blessing, what lesson did you bring me? And when I ask, it answers. Every time. Every single time. Suddenly, I can't hear you. I hear it sounds like there's yeah, I hear. Pull out and put back in.
Is it clear now?
Now I can hear you.
Really sorry for that.
That's okay.
So, yeah, I was saying that it was such an amazing thing you just told right now. Like the example you just gave, that you call it a situation, you don't call it a problem.
No.
And yes, exactly. Always any problem we have in our life is because to teach a lesson, to teach any lesson to us. Like we daily face any kind of challenge, or like we often face any kind of challenge, but those challenges are coming in our life to teach something to us, and we have to learn something from our challenges, from the problems we are facing.
Right. I agree.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Now, it's also important to remember that nothing you live, nothing you do, I don't look at any of it as mistakes. I don't believe I make mistakes. I believe when something doesn't work, I am one step closer to the answer. So, okay, process of elimination. It wasn't you. Next, keep going. The reason I don't believe in mistakes, it's because I believe whenever something happens, it's not a mistake. It's just what happens to keep our journeys interesting. I don't want a journey that is like this. That's a flat line. That means there's proof that there's no life. I want my life to look like in the hospital when they put it up on the monitor and they show your heart. Why do you think our heart goes up, down, up, down, up, down? Because that is the tempo of life. But a lot of people, I want everything to be perfect. Why can't we all get along? Why isn't everything just smooth sailing? Because that's boring. You can't appreciate the joy if you haven't had just a little bit of pain. You can't understand the view from the top of the mountain if you didn't enjoy the view as you were climbing the mountain. And not to mention the view beneath where you started. When you get to see, wow, look how far I climbed. Because, see, it's not just about the journey itself. It's not just about the beginning point and the ending point. It's really about the distance that you travel. Look how far I've come. Wow. And I also want to add this. There are people, I've met them. I've been that person myself. Where all this time, and I get to the top of the mountain, plant my flag, and then I don't celebrate all the steps it took to get there. In other words, celebrate your small wins. Today, why do you think I do this? Cross things off as they happen. When you and I already crossed our meeting off because we're in here. Because at the end of the day, Fahad, when I look at this list, like I do, I have a trash can full of them from every day. I have celebrated every win, which means when I get through the day at all of it, I get to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins individually. And I look at my day as one great big win because I had 9 little ones. You see, some people don't count the little ones and they think they never have a big one. I didn't do anything. Yes, you did. You did a lot of little things that lead to a big thing. But if you don't see the small wins, you will be blind and you will miss your great win. So take baby steps and celebrate all the way there. All the way there.
Exactly, totally agreed with you. We have to celebrate the small wins, and we have to celebrate all the steps we've took to climb a mountain. Like we always celebrate the big win, and sometimes we often don't celebrate the big wins too. We
Right.
always, yeah, we just people like to be like emotional and to always cry on the challenges. They are not enjoying their life, and we have to enjoy small wins. And when we enjoy our small wins, we will absolutely enjoy the big wins too.
Correct.
So yeah, Lauren, you've spoken about the power of transformation in your life. So can you pinpoint a specific moment when you realized that adversity could be a catalyst for personal growth?
Easy answer. The moment I started honoring gratitude, when I started being grateful, when I started being thankful, because no matter what the situation was, and I've been homeless, I've been addicted to drugs, I've been in jail, I've been in a lot of places I wouldn't want anybody to go. But even when I was there, I saw examples. Well, I may not have it all together right now, but boy, at least I'm not dealing with what he's dealing with. You see, I might be homeless, but I have both of my legs. I might be homeless, but I am not blind. I can see. I might be homeless, but I'm cancer free as far as I know. Somebody else has everything: a mansion, their own airplane, a yacht, millions of dollars, but they cannot see. They have no legs, or their body is riddled with cancer. And then I go, well, I'd rather be homeless and just wait on what can be. You see? So the minute I started learning the power of gratitude, everything in my world started clearing up. It started feeling better. And I suggest that to people all the time. If you're having a crappy day, you think everything's wrong and bad, stop and sit down somewhere and just look around. What do you see that you can say, man, that tree is beautiful. Look at that bird. I'm so grateful I can see that with my own eyes and not just hear it because I have no sight. I am grateful that I can stand up and move over and smell that flower. And I don't need a seeing eye dog. I don't have the wheelchair to get over. I can get up and my body obeys me. So many things. If you sit and you practice gratitude, by the time you stop saying thank you, by the time you stop seeing things to be grateful for, guess what? That crappy day is over. It's over. It's gone. And you can choose or not sit there the next day until you get it right, naming all the things you're grateful for. Or you can wake up and you can say, you remember, I'm not going to waste any time like yesterday of getting out of my own way. I'm going to remember to be grateful as I move. But being grateful as you move often starts from being grateful after sitting still. Stop it. Reassessing and getting up and moving through. It's important. Return this.
What an amazing answer, Lauren. And yes, I heard, very correctly that you're a great storyteller. And I guess if someone who is, who knows English even, he can understand really, really much better that what you are saying. Because your every line just touches the heart and just get in, very deeply and just, um, just, uh, make us to think something.
Well,
It's really amazing.
you know what that is, Fahad, right? The truth.
Yes,
The truth has a ring to it. And it surpasses all language barriers. It just does. And that's the beautiful thing about it. I encourage everybody, whether you can speak this language or that language, or you can't, or you're learning it or whatever, just be true to yourself. Be true. Do what's right. Get up every day and strive to take great to greater. Take smart to smarter. If you're bold, become bolder. If you're nice, look for a way to be nicer. That's all you have to do. And everything you do will bring you everything you need. That's a promise.
exactly.
Hmm.
So, how do you define the difference between adversity and opportunity? Are there moments in your life where they've overlapped in a way that changed the trajectory of your journey?
That's a great question. Brilliantly placed. And I will say this, they are one and the same. They're one and the same. It ties into what I said at the beginning of the interview. There are no mistakes. It's just what has to happen to keep your journey interesting. If you're trying to live a life that people remember, then you must give them things worth remembering. If you want to live a life that people will remember, you must do things that are worth remembering, that are worth repeating. And it doesn't mean like one day, I know people may not say, remember Dr. Loren? He lived 100 years ago and he said da 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 da. They may not say, show a picture and go, oh, isn't that guy from back 100 years ago named Dr. Loren? No. In other words, they may not remember my name. They may not recognize my face. But if I have lived and left truth behind for people to find 100 years from now, someone will pick it up and say, I don't remember who said it. Some guy from 100 years ago, I don't remember his name. But he was the one who said, look at every opportunity from top to bottom, bottom to top. Look at every opportunity from one side to the next side, and from that side back to the next side. Look at every opportunity from corner to corner and corner to corner. Because when you do that, you're going to find why it is your opportunity. The answer is somewhere in there. Don't just stop from this, or don't just do this, or even this. Do it all. Do your best. You'll find what you're looking for, a whole lot more. And they may not know it's me, but they'll know the truth because it'll still have a ring to it. See, the truth is the only thing, Fahad, in the universe. The truth never changes. It never changes. If you leave a truth today, 2025, on January 22nd, a million years from now, that will still be the truth. If people try to change it to something else, they can try, but it's a version of the truth. The truth will still be the truth. You see, just like, if you put on a Pierre Cardin this or a Calvin Klein that, and if the tag says Calvin Klein, it's an original. But then you might say, this guy walks up, hey, is that Calvin Klein? No, it's Kohl's. It's Sears. It's a knockoff. It's a version of the one you're wearing. But the one you're wearing, mine, just a knockoff. You see? So let your message stay in its original form. It's truth. And everything you lived that you tell people, you don't have to embellish. You don't have to add to it. You just tell them the truth and let it be, because it'll never change. And it won't change on you.
Exactly, Lauren. Exactly, and that's where all the religions agrees on. Truth is it's something where all religions, accept that we have to speak truth. We have to be, truthful, uh, and yes, that's what all said. So, in your bathrobe moments show, you often discuss the importance of vulnerability. How has vulnerability played a role in overcoming the challenges you've faced?
Great question. Being vulnerable means that you're to me, it equates to willingness. I'm willing to get my feelings hurt. I'm willing for somebody to not like me. I'm willing to be overlooked, misunderstood, but I'm not willing to just lay down and quit. And every time I'm vulnerable, it means that I'm being transparent. It means that I'm asking you to trust me, and I'm learning from you how to trust myself. And it's a beautiful thing. Vulnerability means that I am willing to let you in. And I hope that you are willing to be vulnerable and let me in. And if we start with trust, we find out why we felt that way all along. And that's when we say, here we are. We've been friends for 30 years. I remember the day I met you. And I am so glad that you have walked this journey by my side. You accepted me when I could not accept myself. You were there for me when I wasn't there for myself. And that's why it's so important that we allow people to sit in the front row seats of our lives that are mirrors of what made us strong, that are reminders of where things went wrong. And when we do that, we get there. We really get there. I'm 62 years old. and you're a young guy just getting started in life, and you're going to get to this point. Prayerfully, one day you'll be this and older. But everybody gets to that point. In most cases, it's right around 50. Because when you hit 50, you go, uh-oh, wow, I most likely have more life back there than I have up there. Unless you're going to be 100. Not many people make it to 100 nowadays. It happens, but not all the time. So when you get to that point in your journey where you say, I got to make every moment count. My mission for coming here in the first place, I need to get her done. I want to leave this world better than the way I found it. That's all. It all starts to come together. It all starts to make sense. And that's what you're looking for. Yeah, forget all the stuff from the past that didn't work. It got you here. It made you strong. It taught you something, right? Opened your eyes. It opened your heart. You saved somebody else from falling down. Well, you might not want to do that. I did that when I was 25 and not good. Well, what would you have done better? Your story is filled with antidote. Whenever we have those times in our lives, those traumatic times, or we blow it, something happens that feels like it was poison. We were bitten or stung by something poisonous. Don't just squeeze the poison out on the ground. Put it in a container and create an antidote. If you're going to have an antidote for a poison, you would have to take the poison out. You make the antidote with the poison. So that's how you justify things that don't feel good, that you didn't really want, but you needed it. I could not have antidote to give the world every day if I had not lived through the poison. We've all seen that where they'll take a viper, a snake, and they'll have that cloth over the top of the thing, and they'll hold the mouth of the snake open and put its fangs on there, and squeeze, and all the drops of the poison fall down in there because they're going to turn those drops. They're not going to drink the drops. They're going to turn that poison into the antidote. When a person gets stung by a bee and they're allergic to bees, they put that EpiPen in. It's the same poison they're putting in that the bee put in, but it's mixed with something to reverse the effect of the poison. And then therefore now it is giving you life and not death. See? Even poison can turn into healing. And that's what things that don't feel good in our lives, they are there so that you can create healing for someone else. That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's what you often say, that here, help, heal. I think I just recorded, correctly. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. It is. I'll tell you this too, Fahid. Um, it's interesting when people come from behind the shadows, come from behind the shame and disgrace or what you think is bad or low or whatever. Be proud of everything that was. And you can only be proud of everything that was when you celebrate everything that is. You see, back then it was hard, but today it is a little bit easier. Back then it was dark. Today it is a little bit brighter. See, I can understand the past when I am celebrating the present. And when I celebrate the present, I am able to welcome the future, no matter what it brings. Because I already know there are no mistakes. Everything has a reason. Everything is within purpose. It is up to us to do something with it on purpose and with purpose. Mean it. Mean what you and say what you mean. If what you do in your life is full of meaning, you will have lived a life that is meaningful. What else could you want?
Um, Lauren, your life is like a big book, and we can't explore your completely your life journeys right